There's a place where we can go tonight. The rhythm will make it right, where everyone is happy and the sun will shine all night. We could have a good time, let everybody sing. Why don't you let yourself slip out of control? We could have a good time, let everybody sing. And get your feet up on the floor.
You're going to be so glad you did this. We all know the basic truth. To reclaim your energy, you have to rest. And by resting, we reclaim our vitality. Hey, that's really good. And you can do this yoga. I promise you can do it. The biggest part, the hardest part is just showing up, number one, and sticking around and doing it and believing you can, because the yoga does work. It really does. It works wonders in your body, your mind, and your soul. It just really, really helps you. But the thing is, you just got to show up. And you got to try, and you got to do. So get out of your skeptical mind. You might be skeptical about it. Get your skeptical thoughts out of the way and just try. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. Today, it's a 1-hour-long restorative practice where you will restore energy in your body, where you'll just feel better. You really will. So stick around. Do as much as you can. Do what you can. Do what is right for your body, as the bottom of our screen says. If it's not right, if you're just not feeling it, if it's a little too hard, if it's painful, that's the word. If it's painful, come out of it. If it's just uncomfortable, stick with it. You can do it. Breathe through it. In a restorative practice, we have fewer poses than other days of the week, but we hold the poses longer. You get comfortable into the pose. You make yourself comfortable by using lots of props. So we have long holds, pretty much like 5-minute holds for most of the poses today. Stick around, check it out, and try other days too. We do all kinds of different practices to make you better, stronger, faster, more flexible, and more mobile. All right, the word to think about today is 2 words, really. It's no worries. Have no worries. Don't be troubled. Don't be stressed. Just do. All right, props for today are usual. The 2 yoga blocks. We use those all the time. We're going to use those right from the beginning. A yoga bolster. Go online and buy one if you don't have one. A pillow from a big bolster or a big cushion from your sofa would work okay in a pinch. But the bolster's really nice because it's firm and it's supportive, and that's what you need. All right, also a blanket. You're going to want to have that nearby. A throw from your sofa. Water and your eye shade and your little hand towel. Hand towel does lots of double duty things. You can use it often in every practice. And the eye shade is great for our final Savasana pose. Let's set up. All right, as you're setting up, take your 2 blocks, place them in the shape of a letter L. Vertical block standing up tall at the top, and then a horizontal block right next to it. So you got the shape of the letter L going on. As you're setting up, lock in your stress number. What do I mean by that? We take this in every practice. And what your stress number is on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Where are you? I mean, what are you feeling right now in your body? I mean, don't overthink it. You know, on a scale of 1 to 5, maybe I'm a 3. And then we're going to work on bringing that number down, because that's what we want to do, is reduce our stress. You got your L set up. Place your bolster on top of it so it's at a nice incline. And we're going to come into a child's pose here. But if you don't like bending your knees, here's an option. There's always options, right? You could sit on your bottom and bring your legs by the sides of the bolster and kind of scoot on up next to it. You can take your blanket or blankets, however many you got, however many you want. And where we're headed here is to come on down and let your chest rest. Maybe put a bend in your knees, and you want to rest your head and your chest on there. May not be there now. Close your eyes, rest into it, and we're going to be here for 5 minutes. I'm going to take this more like a child's pose with bent knees, hugging my knees up around the edges of the bolster near the bottom, and come on down. I'm going to set timers today to keep me on target. 5 minutes, let's go here. I'll tell you when we're halfway through, so you could turn your head if you want to rest your head on one cheek or the other. But my message to you is just be patient with yourself. You got to slow down so you can get things back on track. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big breath out through your mouth. Rest here on your bolster, letting your chest be heavy, letting your head be heavy, letting your shoulders be soft and away from your ears. Take your deep breath in through your nose. And just imagine, if you could, breathe out stress. Send it out through your mouth. Sigh it out. And we know that sighing, audibly sighing, is a way of releasing stress in the body. Let it go. as you're breathing, you might want to engage what's called your Ujjayi pranayama breath. To do that, you would close your lips and breathe just in and out of your nose. It helps you focus on your breath. As you take your big inhales, feel your lungs expand really far to the sides of your room. If you've been resting your head on one cheek, one ear, we're about halfway done, so maybe it's time to turn the other cheek. Come back to your breath, just your breath. Deepen your breath. Big breaths in and big breaths out. Your chest is heavy, you're not holding on here. Your head is heavy, your neck is heavy. Your shoulders are soft. Deep breath in and deep breath out. You know, this is your you time. Truly, get out of your head, rest, and restore. Good things will happen if you just take the time. If you wish to stay here longer in this pose, go right ahead. I'm going to press on up and come out of this pose. Keep your setup the way it is. And just turn your body around. Maybe grab your eye shade or your towel. We're going to flip around and we're going to come to put our spine on this setup. So your bottom is scooted up next to the bolster and come to recline. We're going to do fish pose later too. So we're going to get lots of goodness going on in the chest. All right, so get comfortable here. I'm going to set the timer again for 5 minutes. And we're just going to enjoy this pose. If you'd like, you can keep your legs long. Cover your eyes with your eye shade. That's really nice. You can bend your knees and rest here. You can open up your knees to the side of the room and have the soles of your feet touch. Another possibility is you could remove your blanket and just recline on the bolster and let the heaviness of the blanket feel good on your belly, or place it a little bit lower so you feel it on your inner thighs if you're in this butterfly-like pose. Figure out what works for you. And cover your eyes with your eye shade. One other thing I want to say is if you buy other blocks, maybe you have 4 blocks, you could slip the blocks underneath your thighs or your knees here. You could roll up blankets too, to just let the knees rest into your prop. Arms wherever you like. If they're down by your side and your palms are face up, you've got a little bit of external shoulder rotation going on, so it opens you up more in the chest. Or place your palms down. You do what works. Breathe deeply and let the thoughts go. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Soften the area between your eyebrows and let your face be expressionless as it truly relaxes. As you take big breaths in, feel your chest lift up toward the sky. And remember to take your full exhales too, as you bring your belly button back towards your spine. Take your deep, refreshing breath in and a full exhale. Let it all out. How's this feeling for you? If you want to stay here longer, absolutely go right ahead. I'm going to push this setup aside as I roll off of it, and then I'm going to come into a pentacle pose. If you'd like to join me, go ahead and do that. Just scoot your props aside. blocks, bolster. We're going to go into Pentacle. All right, for your Pentacle pose, not a very long Pentacle pose. You might want to stay covered with the blanket. Arms go high overhead, legs spread wide. This is just your resetting pose. Maybe sigh it out. Let your pinky toes fall toward the edges of your mat. Backs of your hands are on the earth, or if that doesn't feel so good, I know a couple of you were saying the shoulders just doesn't work. You could place your hands onto your blocks. If you don't like that, just bring your arms down a little bit. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Let your belly be strong as it rises up to the sky. And belly button to your spine as you exhale. No rush, no hurry, no worries. Be free of disturbances. Enjoy this time for you. Go back to checking out the area between your eyebrows. Are you scrunching your eyebrows together? Soften in your forehead, soften in your face. Breathe in, breathe out. That's all that matters right here, right now, this present moment. Stay here in your Pentacle pose if it is speaking to you. If you would like to move on to our next pose, we did butterfly in the feet. Let's do caterpillar. Bring your arms on down by your sides. Take it slowly. Just feel how heavy the arms are. Legs back together at the midline. Press on up to a seated position. Legs are going to go long, and here's what you can do here. You can bring your bolster and your blanket with you. You could place the bolster folded up a couple times like a burrito and place it underneath your knees. That might feel really good. If you don't want to use the blanket, that's fine too, but try it, see what you think, and decide. I'm going to place the bolster onto my legs. That little bit of weight feels really nice. I'm going to lengthen up through the crown of my head. The edge of the bolster's right up next to my belly. You can place the blanket on top to make the bolster a little higher. You decide. And we're going to come to recline our chest on this. Another 5 minutes. Let's go. Arms wherever you like. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Just note where you are. And I'm pretty sure that within 5 minutes, you'll feel pretty comfortable down here. Lengthen up and then exhale. Great pose in which to really think of sending your belly back to your spine as you create space in your belly to allow you to fold more forward. Breathe, soften your shoulders, and let everything go. And as you rest here and you start to really get the stretch going on, maybe you're really so rested into your setup that you can peel back a layer or two of your blanket to take it a little deeper. But if it's stressful, nobody says you can't put a layer back in. Deepen your breath. As you inhale, think of your spine getting longer. And as you exhale, think of your chest getting closer and closer to your setup. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and just observe where you are as compared to where you were when you first started in this pose. So just observe, don't judge, don't be hard on you. Remember, no worries, no troubles. Just shows you the power of time, and that's what we're after in a restorative practice. Slowly come on up out of this pose. The power of time and your patient endurance. Pretty amazing. So that's why we do restorative. So you can just let the body, get the mind out of the way, and let the body rest into these poses a little bit longer. All right, let's do fish pose on the bolster to open up the chest again. So you could do it on your blocks, or I'm going to do it on the bolster. If you're doing it on the blocks, bring your blocks to like the shape of a letter T. Horizontal block on top, vertical block beneath it at about 6 inches away. You're going to come to recline on your blocks or the bolster. Bolster's more comfortable. Bring your eye shade and your blanket too. Cover up where it's comfortable. Recline. If you're using the blocks, adjust the vertical block so it's between your shoulder blades. You want your bottom on the mat though. That's an important part of it because you want to encourage that natural curvature of your spine. Cover up with your blanket. Maybe it feels good to cover your feet, your calves, your thighs, your belly. Just get into it here. I'm going to set a 5-minute timer. Come to fully recline here and rest. Covering the eyes is really a nice thing. Don't think of it as, oh, I don't need to. It's really great to block out the light. So you could use your towel or an eye shade. Invest in that. They're not very expensive, or you could make one. The eye shade is a little bit weighted, and the weight feels really good in the eye sockets. Arms down by your sides, palms face up if you'd like. Maybe tee out the arms a little bit if that feels good. Think of like a snow angel. You decide where it feels great for you. You want to feel opening through the chest. Your legs can be long. Knees can be bent with the soles of your feet on your mat. That alleviates a little tension in the low back if you like that. Or come back to that butterfly-like pose with the soles of the feet touching and the knees open wide. Now, if you are on your bolster, you could also take your blocks and place them underneath your butterfly knees. So you can see what I mean, how that feels. Makes you want to run out and find more blocks, doesn't it? All right, nestle in. Breathe deeply, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Strong breath, followed by a relaxing breath. Come back to your breath and deepen it. Full breath in. Feel your lungs expand. And a full breath out. Feel your shoulders soften. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Okay, this is your supported fish pose. I don't know how many ways you've got yourself supported, but whatever it is, let it feel good. You can stay here longer in your fish pose. This is a great pose to stay for up to 20 minutes. If you would like, the next pose I'm going to go into is for the hips. It's a sleeping swan pose. So it's up to you. Stay in your fish or take whatever pose you like. I'm going to draw the knees together at the midline. I'm going to remove the blanket and I'm going to press on up to a comfortable seated position. For sleeping swan, let's come on over to our knees. Let's bring the bolster maybe to the top of your blanket or the top of your mat horizontally. Maybe take the towel, the little towel or the blanket, and place it down near the bottom of your mat to be a little cushion for your knee. I'm going to send my left leg long on the mat. I'm going to bend the right knee. I'm going to bring the right shin a little more parallel to the top of the mat. You bring it to what is comfortable for you. Top of the left foot is on the mat. The knee is comfortable on the blanket. I'm going to slip down onto the bolster. You can send your elbows wide. You can rest your hands on top of each other and rest here. You could also, because we're going to be here for a while, take your block. Slip it under your right hip, the knee that's bent, and let your bottom rest on it. It'll keep you honest. It'll keep the hips equidistant to the mat. Otherwise, you tend to kind of favor the bent hip side and just kind of collapse into it. We want to get a nice, even, good stretch here on the hips. So slip the block under it. Close your eyes. Nestle in. I've set a timer for 5 minutes. It's a long time in your sleeping swan pose. If at any time you feel pain, come out of it. If it's discomfort, maybe realize maybe you're on the threshold of breaking through a barrier. But you know the difference between pain and discomfort. If it's ever painful, come out of it and listen to your body. Left leg long on the mat. Hips are long. Shoulders are soft and away from the ears. Send breath to your hip. What do I mean by that? Just think of space in the right hip. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. Spine is long. Crown of the head is to the front of the room. Shoulders are soft. Let the tension that we hold go. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. Spine is long. Crown of the head is to the front of the room. Shoulders are soft. Let the tension that we hold go. 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 Let the tension that we it doesn't serve you, why would you want to keep it? Let it go. If your jaws, your teeth are clenched, create some space in the mouth. No need to worry here. You're fine. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe you like being on the bolster. Maybe you'd like to remove the bolster. That's an easy little move. Just scoot it on up to the top and come down to your forearms. Come down to your over one hand over the other and rest. Just a little thought. Don't be in such a hurry that you want to run away from a pose. Recognize it and just hold on. Be patient. Have that endurance. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Slowly press on up into your straightened arms. Come out of this slowly. Tuck your back left toes under. Maybe scoot your left knee up a little bit. Remove the block from underneath your right glutes and bring them to the left side. Send the right leg back and then shake it out. Shake it out by lifting it up. Kind of like coming into your bird dog pose a little bit, or going into a fire hydrant, kicking the leg to the side. Just acknowledge the newfound mobility in that hip. How's that? All right. Got another side to do. Gonna do the left leg next. Lift the left knee up toward your bolster. Roll it back into the seam. Send your right leg long and straight on your mat. Top of the right foot on the mat. So find length in that leg. Work your left shin, maybe a little more parallel to the top of the mat. Slip your block under your left glutes to keep your hips honest. We all need some encouragement, right? Set a timer for 5 minutes. Let's go. All right, come on down. Arms on the bolster, elbows to the sides maybe. Nestle in here in your sleeping swan. Soft shoulders, long right leg, breath to the left hip, don't forget you can roll that bolster away too if you want. Imagine both hips getting closer and closer to the earth as you let the stress that you hold in your hips go. Inside of this last minute here, really send your breath to your hip. Really imagine letting all the tension go. We've got less than a minute to go. Maybe you can remove the block and the hips can comfortably remain equidistant to your mat as you imagine the hips practically touching the earth. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. What an intense pose. Press on up and come on out of it. Tuck your back right toes, left leg, shake it out. Remember, fire hydrant to the side, or like a bird dog pose, sending the leg long. I don't know about you, but that pose, that's a hard one. It's harder on my right side than on my left. Let's make our way to Pentacle. And you may find that too. You know, we're not perfectly even. We strive to be more equal in the body. Pentacle pose, big capital letter X. But you know, it doesn't always work that way. Grab your eye shade and your blanket and bring it up towards your shoulders. Come to recline on your blanket and take your Pentacle pose. Arms high overhead, legs spread wide. And the words patient endurance come into mind. You know, you want to run from some of the poses. You think, oh, I just can't do it. But take it little by little in layers. And half pigeon or sleeping swan, the one we just did, is one of those for me. Really, really hard to get into. Really want to run from it in the beginning. But as time progresses, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever you take, it's much more accessible. And that's what our restorative practice is about, just exploring where your body can go if you get the mind out of the way. So breathe here in your pentacle, just restore, refresh, rejuvenate, reset. And when you're ready, if you'd like, let's move into our final Savasana pose. So I'm going to press up just for a second because I want to put this bolster under my knees today. If you have a bolster and want to do that, that's kind of nice. Maybe put it under the knees or under the feet, so your feet are slightly elevated. You could put blocks under your feet too, if you prefer that. And then come down to recline. Have your eye shade and your blanket. All right, your blanket. What do you want to cover up? Your whole body, your feet, your belly. I'm just going to cover the belly. Come to fully reclined. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or your towel to block out the world. Get comfortable, relax, and we've got about 7 minutes here. Best pose of the practice. We'll spend the most time here. Arms down by your sides, palms face up if that feels good. Shoulders away from your ears. Maybe wiggle your shoulder blades a little under your back and tuck them under there. Legs are long on your mat, heels toward the edges of your mat and pinky toes falling out as you slightly externally rotate your hips. Your arms are heavy, and so are your legs. Your belly is softly breathing in and out. Breathe any way you like, through the nose only, or the nose and the mouth. But keep your breaths long. And if you can, keep your exhales a little bit slower and longer than the inhales. Soften your face, the area between your eyebrows. Heavy eyes in the eye sockets. Cheeks and ears are relaxed, as is your throat. Keep the thoughts at bay as you just listen to the sound of your own breath. There is power in the pause. There's power in this time of peace. Try to be perfectly still, and just your belly is going up and down. have your mind tell your shoulders to relax a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. Revisit your jaws. If your teeth are touching, create a little space there and remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Deepen your breath for this last minute. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out as you sigh it out through your mouth. Stay here longer if you like. Maybe you're just starting to get into it. If it's time for you to conclude your hour, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move the motion up into the wrists and the ankles as you slowly awaken the body. Inhale, arms lift overhead, toes point to the bottom, stretch it out like a big good morning stretch, because that's how we live our yoga off of our mat. Every day before you get out of bed, stretch it out. Bend your knees and bend your elbows. Roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head. Eyes are closed, head is heavy, top shoulders relaxed. Take a deep breath in And a deep breath out. Slowly press on up or float on up. Eyes open or closed. Come to a comfortable seated position, whatever speaks to you right now. Hands to prayer center. Just take this moment. Be thankful for being here. Be thankful for your body. Lengthen up through the crown of your head and soften up through your shoulders. Deep cycle of breath. Gently blink your eyes open. You did it. That concludes today's yoga. That was restorative. Other days of the week, we do other practices. Check us out. As you go on with your day, have no worries. Don't be troubled. Send stress on its way and breathe deeply. See you on your mats tomorrow. From us to you, much love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Focus on that patience today. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye. Hello. Do you want to do your yoga? Bonnie's doing hers. Okay. All right. That's a good deal. Bye. Hi, guys. It's not what you think you are that's holding you back. It's what you think you're not that's holding you back. Come on now. You can do your yoga. You know that because you've stuck around. You've done your yoga. You've been doing your yoga faithfully. Good for you. And I hope you're seeing the benefits. I know you're seeing the benefits. Tell your friends about those benefits. Have them join our yoga too. It is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and on YouTube. They can sign in. They can do the yoga live with us, which I think is the most fun, or they can watch it anytime throughout the day. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Come check it out. Come check out your yoga. Tell your friends to check us out and just have a good time. Be all that you can be. See you on your mats tomorrow.